Wait, do you guys see that monkey over there? Oh wait, that's me! I competed against Canada's strongest climbers in Calgary, and in this video you'll see how my round went. Did I get completely clapped, or did I perform to my level? You'll see in a couple of minutes. But right before that, let me show you some of the vlog that I filmed for this trip, because going to nationals meant going to Western Canada, and since it was my first time in Calgary, I thought a vlog can be cool for this video. C'est là que ça commence le vlog. Hey toi là! Mon tabac! Hey mon tabac! Ah! Allez mange! Mange ta poutine! Non!
A few moments later.
Oh! Qu'est-ce qu'elle mérite là? Oh non!
Sont vraiment belles les routes. Bon Fernand, t'en penses quoi des blocs?
Deux blocs très durs, une petite dalle coquille.
Des petites dalles coquilles.
Un petit peu gros. En vrai, il y a une des dalles, c'est moi qui passe.
Yeah, ça va être physique tout ça. Ce move là. Ah! Salement nasty. Oh! Il va le dev!
Nice! Oh oui! On est prêt? Oh oui!
Oh que oui! Ouais! Oui, dernier move. Ah, dernier move, il a l'air coquin.
Oh oh!
Allez, go! Les gars! Oh là là! Yeah! So basically there was 6 boulders divided in 2 categories. You either start on A or you start on B. And in my case, I was starting with the B boulders. So what I didn't know at the time is that the first boulder I was gonna hop on was the hardest one, and then the next 2 were the ones that I had to top if I really wanted a chance to go to semifinals. And the thing is, by having categories, sometimes some climbers develop some better breaks for some boulders. And if you're in the other category, then you can kind of watch them climb. So sometimes the order in which you pass is extremely important. But we'll get into that when I'll be on the boulders. For now, let's focus on B1, the first boulder I hopped on. So like I said earlier, this boulder is the hardest one of the round. So I think only 8 people topped this boulder, so like only the finalists of nationals. So I wasn't expecting much. I wanted to grab the zone. I think that was the most optimistic goal I could have on this boulder. But man, that right hold was terrible and matching it was disgusting. So starting the boulder is already pretty hard, because you have to keep the tension with the toe hook and the holds are not great. And we did get the video of the route setters doing the boulders, and from this boulder the route setter was doing like some toe hooks to transition to the right side. But watching a video and doing the actual boulder is 2 different things. They do not show how bad those holds are and how strong the route setters are. And I can assure you that these holds are terrible. I wasn't getting too far into this boulder, and I was actually starting to think if it was worth trying this boulder many times, because I wanted to keep some energy for the next boulders. And it's also very important to think about the skin. If you do many tries on a boulder, maybe you won't leave enough skin for the next ones. So sometimes it's just better to not try the boulder too many times if you know you're not gonna get too far into it. And in this case, I knew that even just grabbing the zone was probably out of my reach. And I actually wasn't too sad about this boulder. I knew that it was very hard and I just wanted to get into the next one. So we're now into the second boulder, B2, and this one is a jump into 2 crimps and then you have to campus the rest of the boulder. So, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling very confident into this boulder, and I even flashed the zone, which was very encouraging. But then, on the campus section, I was feeling very uncomfortable into that movement. I didn't have many ideas on what to change on my second attempt because the position just kind of felt awkward to go to the left side, and even though I could repeat this sequence, I was still feeling stuck in that campus section. And I took some moment to relax and try to think of my beta. So on my third attempt, when I went back to this boulder, my goal was to try to replace my hands and find a better position to go to the left side. But the problem is that after 2 attempts, the physical strength does not come back fully. And I think this is where the training comes in handy. I've never really trained in my life to get better power endurance on some boulders or having better recovery time because that's super important in comps. So that's like the main thing that I noticed that I can work on. Recovery time, power endurance, and definitely a margin to always have more strength than required. So I definitely have some regrets on this boulder. I think I could have topped it for sure. I have the level, it's just execution, and of course having more strength or power endurance is good, but I always need some adaptability to really understand what I did wrong from my last attempt. So that's just comp skills that I learned from having these experience, so I just gotta keep training on some 4-minute formats and get better at executing boulders. Unfortunately, for the third boulder, B3, I only had this one clipped because Fernand forgot to film me. But there's not much to say about this boulder. I mean, it's a slab and I could do the zone in 1 attempt. But again, it was mostly execution. I could not get the finish. And I tried 2 different betas, but I thought that for me, it would be easier to just keep my right foot on that starting hold. But I think I was a little too stretched out to go to the second to last hold. And you know, when I said that some people were doing some better breaks or easier betas for these boulders, well, Oscar Baudrin went after me and he actually did a beta that looked so much easier, which was bumping the left hand. And when I saw that, I was so disappointed to not have seen it myself because I really think that would have been very easy and a secure top. But that's part of the game. Sometimes you don't have the beta, and if I hadn't seen the videos that they send us or seen everybody else climb on it, maybe I would have tried it. So yeah, that's just part of it. So I eventually went back to the warm-up zone, and after an hour of warming up, I was ready for my second round, which was going into the A boulders. A1 was for sure my biggest regret of this competition. So let me just draw you a backstory of this boulder. I saw 40 people topping this boulder before my round, so everybody was topping it. There's always one boulder that's easier than the other ones, and if you don't get the easy boulder, then it affects your mental. So seeing that many people top it and knowing that this was the easiest boulder in the round, I was already a little stressed going into it. And as you'll see from my first attempt, this first move is actually quite tricky. And I don't know why, from my first attempt, I was a bit discouraged already because I felt like I couldn't do that first move. And like I said earlier, this was the boulder that everybody was getting, so it was definitely getting into my head. But even if it was hard to stay focused, I could still actually learn something and get this first move finally, and there was probably 2 minutes left. And this is where it starts to get really disappointing because I thought I was gonna get the boulder, and when I grabbed the last hold, I could not finish the boulder. I remembered that the thumb was not in the exact position that I was expecting, and it kind of threw me off, and I just didn't generate enough for the last hold. And it was a great hold, so that was even more frustrating that I could just not hold the position. I think there was only a minute left, and I rested for 20 seconds, went back to this boulder, and of course I didn't have all my strength back. And once I understood the first and middle part of this boulder, it was actually pretty easy, but I did not have enough energy for the last move, so with that attempt I had no time left to try it again. Once again, I need more execution, I need to learn better from my attempts on that first move, and I think the most important thing that I learned from that boulder is that I need to take my time even if it's the last move. I need to like replace my hands or my body before going into the last hold, and a small detail like that can make the whole difference. So that's why experience is key. Next time when I'll be in a similar position, I'll know to not rush it. After A1, my mental was completely destroyed and it was pretty hard to focus. And I know it's like the #1 rule to just forget about the previous boulder and just focus on the current one. But one thing is saying it and the other is actually doing it. Plus, this boulder was the second hardest one of the round. So you see that this first move is super physical. You have to jump in a crimp with basically one arm. On my second attempt, I could get the move, but then the real issue was going into the zone. It was such a physical move and it was very hard to generate from that awkward position. There was actually not many people that got the zone of this boulder. I think only the people who made semifinals and a couple of other climbers, but this was definitely extremely physical. And you don't need only crimp strength, but also lock-off strength on the left arm and have a perfect swing and then contact strength to hold the zone. And I could feel it straight away that it was gonna be a very hard challenge to get the zone. After my second attempt, I took some time off and I was thinking what to do better because I was feeling a little close to sticking the zone, but since it was very physical, I had to take some breaks. So on my third attempt, I understood just a little more how to do the move to the zone. I had to lock off more with the left arm and especially not give too much swing with the legs. So after those 2 attempts to the zone, I understood how to do the movement, and on my 4th attempt of this boulder, I could finally grab the zone. And at that moment, I wasn't too psyched because I was still thinking of the previous boulder. But looking back at it, I'm actually really proud of getting the zone because it was super physical and I think I learned pretty well how to do that movement in only 4 minutes. So with nothing to lose, I decided to give one last attempt with 30 seconds left, and I had to try this beta of matching the crimp, but it was not really working. So we're already at the last boulder of my round. We finish off this round with a slab that's super nasty on the footholds. As you see here, there's only volumes and they're pretty damn flat. So I saw lots of people trying this section and I knew that grabbing the zone and controlling the zone especially was definitely an issue because when you go towards the zone, you have so much momentum that you have to stop the swing and they don't reward you the zone until you've controlled that movement. So this is still in my first attempt and I was kind of juggling the feet to see what was the best position to go slowly into the zone, but it was a very delicate move. So I knew that it was definitely possible for me to get the zone, but I had to really trust my feet. And in my second attempt, I was actually having a hard time transitioning to the right side. It was a pretty awkward position because you're still pulling with the left hand, so you're kind of having a weird balance, but I could finally transition to the right side, and once again, I was into this position. But yeah, the zone, it was so frustrating. I kept on holding it, and controlling it was another problem. And the thing with slabs in competitions is that you can't rush them, you have to stay composed, but the time is running low every time you do an attempt, so you kind of want to rush it, but yeah, it's you just gotta keep calm and really move slowly. And in this attempt, I grabbed the zone and I stopped a little before trying to do the foot swap. But yeah, they did not give me the zone. I was not in control and it was really important to just hold that swing if you want to show to the judge that you've controlled the zone. So super frustrating. I was not able to stay low and do that foot swap. And I saw some people staying high and moving slowly into the volumes, but it felt super hard for me, so I felt like I had to move fast once I grabbed the zone. I felt like I wasn't learning much from my attempts, and every time I was getting to the zone, it was the same thing. I couldn't control it, and with only 20 seconds left, I gave my last try, but like the other attempts, yeah, I could just not control it, and that was the end of my round. So yeah, my round was pretty frustrating, but there's a lot to learn from this, and that's why every single experience is great for me to come back stronger. If you're really curious about my placement, I placed 67. Yep, 67. Which is more than the double that I placed last year. So I know the level of Canada is definitely going up. The boulders were for sure harder than last year. But I guess placement is not really what matters right now. I really need to focus on myself and executing boulders, because if I was 67th with a few tops, I would have been happy. But I wasn't happy after my round because I knew that I wasn't climbing to my full potential. So there's still lots of work to do. So I'll have to train to get better at competing for next year's nationals. So with that being said, I'll leave you with some impressions that we had after the comp, and then the next day we'll watch some pros do their things on the semi-final.
C'est pour YouTube ça?
Ouais. Pas de semi.
Non.
We fucked up.
Ouais.
Moi I fucked up solid, man. Too many regrets. Ouais.
J'avais une bille pour.
Non, c'est quoi ça? En plus, ça l'a saigné genre premier bloc, deuxième bloc. Ah, on s'en va à la zone VIP. Ça sent bon.
Ouais, ça sent bon.
Jamaican pot.
Jamaican bomba clan pot.
Come on, man, taste it. See? Good?
C'est bon.
Ça fait penser à un jeune Alex Magos.
Oui, oui,
Bravo, hein? Come on! Yeah! Oh! Allez, yeah!
2,000 years later.
Ah! Let's go, DJ! What? Oh! And let's go! Let's go! Hey! Allez, go! Oui!
On les aide beaucoup là.
Allez!
Ah oui, ça c'est bon.
Oui! Allez, go! Ah, mais en vrai, c'est vrai top, hein? Ouais.